flag up, and they're off racing for the 5th race. This is the Barker in Maiden race, Division 1 of the Maiden this afternoon. Tom Cody is quickly on towards the first with Garde Bresilien out a little bit wider on the course. Looking towards the back, the grey Super Sundial jumped out to his right and slightly impeded Watch Law up and over the first of the scheduled 18 fences that they've got to jump in the first division of this Maiden this afternoon. And Tom Cody and John Dawson going to lead on down towards fence number 2 from Garde Bresilien. Out wide, Bruce is coming through for a share of the lead. They appear to be going quite quickly in the early stages. Beat the Edge and will to be sitting back, tracking the pace in 4th. First Chippy in the green with the grey chevrons is up along the inside in mid-division. Jack Teal's mount, the Grey Phoenix, just blundered his way across fence number 2 and again dragged his hind legs through fence 3. Out a little bit wider on the course, Super Sundial is now relegated Watch Law to be the early back marker as they make the journey now left-handed at the top end of the course and head towards fences 4 and 5. And Ard Bruce is going to lead them down towards the first in the back straight. Gone 2 lengths clear, Ard Bruce of Tom Cody and Garde Bresilien, who jumps in 3rd. Out a little bit deeper on the course, the Orange Cap has Beat the Edge races in 4th position at this stage. And then the Grey Phoenix, Jack Teal in 5th towards the inside first. Chippy's in the back 3rd of the field at this stage, heading towards the first of the open ditches. And towards the back of the field is Watch Law and the Grey Super Sundial, all up and over fence number 5 safely enough. And now they're on this extended run towards fence number 6, the cross fence for the first time. They've got about 2 miles left to cover in the first division of the Maiden here this afternoon, and still Ard Bruce is leading away from Tom Cody by a length and a half. Another length further back to find Garde Bresilien, and then a little bit deeper on the course, Beat the Edge will Easterby racing in a clear 4th position at this stage as they head left-handed now and make the run towards the cross fence for the first time. First Chippy and the Grey Phoenix sitting mid-division with towards the back Watch Law, and Super Sundial is still the overall back marker, but was very chancy over fence number 6. The Super Sundial made the first significant error of these Maidens over fence 6. So heading up the hill, heading towards the home straight for the first time, fences 7, 8 and 9 to negotiate in the straight on this occasion, and it's still Ard Bruce and Abby Robinson leading the way by a couple of lengths from Tom Cody and John Dawson. Garde Bresilien, Gina Andrews is racing in 3rd. Without a little bit wider, the Grey Phoenix and Jack Teal, who sits in mid-division still after a couple of chancy errors up and over fences 2 and 3, settled into the race much better now. Beat the Edge is in mid-division as well, will Easterby in an orange cap bobbing away towards the back of the field at this stage. Garde Bresilien was just a little bit novicy over fence number 7, so too was Watch Law, and at the back of the field first Chippy made his first significant error as well as they're running towards the middle one in the straight on this first occasion. Ard Bruce jumping well in the head of affairs, leading by still a length and a half from Tom Cody towards the back of the field. The 2 that are dropping off them in the early stages, Super Sundial and first Chippy, must be detached from the leading 6 by the best part of 10 lengths as the leaders get up and over the fence. It'll be the last next time. Just watching Super Sundial clamber his way across it and towards the back first Chippy as rider Jack Power did well to maintain the partnership. So a mile and a half left to cover and another 9 to jump, and Ard Bruce still leading the way by a length and a half from Tom Cody. The Grey Phoenix and Jack Teal towards the outside in 3rd, towards the inner Garde Bresilien, Gina Andrews towards the outer is Beat the Edge, will Easterby in an orange cap turning left-handed and heading down the hill towards their point of departure. Super Sundial is still continuing, but is 20 lengths off the leaders, and then a further 20 lengths back to first Chippy, who potentially could be pulled up before heading towards the first of the fences in this line. Heading towards fence number 10 and Ard Bruce, leading Tom Cody still by a length and a half. Tom Cody just got into that fence a little bit tight as well, as they're making the long run towards fence number 11. Looking back, Super Sundial has jumped fence 10. First Chippy at the moment is still going, but a long way detached. First Chippy has clambered his way across fence number 10, and surely will now be pulled up. First Chippy indeed has been pulled up before going to fence 11. The leaders are at fence 11 now, and Ard Bruce still with a length and a half's advantage over the Grey Phoenix, who's jumping through in the centre of the course to get a little bit closer. Tom Cody still in the pink and grey stripes along the inside towards the outer to find Beat the Edge. Garde Bresilien is towards the inside racing in 5th for Gina Andrews, a little bit wider on the course to find Watch Law. Super Sundial still continuing, but is a long way detached from the leaders as they race on towards fence 13. At the back of the field, Garde Bresilien is very chancy at fence number 13 and clouds it. Bruce still leading Tom Cody on the run to the final one of the ditches, taken as 5 out. So Bruce, Tom Cody beat the edge towards the outside. The Grey Phoenix still travelling up well between them in the check sleeves. Again, Garde Bresilien give fence 14 no respect and blundered his way through it. Heading now towards the final 7.5 furlongs of this contest, towards fence 15. It'll be 4 out, the cross fence for the last time, and still Tom Cody and the Grey Phoenix and Bruce disputing it at the head of affairs. Beat the edge towards the outside, is moving a little bit closer. So too Garde Bresilien, to his credit. Gina Andrews is getting him into a more competitive position up along the inside in these leading group. Now dropped watch draw to the detached mid-division runner. Garde Bresilien again, clouded fence number 15, and has put him back on the back foot. He is rallying again though on the landing side. Tom Cody leading the Grey Phoenix towards home with 3 left to jump. Garde Bresilien is now being pushed along on the inside to maintain third. Beat the edges towards the outside, still travelling quite nicely for Will Easterby at this stage. Long time leader Bruce is dropping off them, and then Watch Law. They're turning inside their final half mile with 3 to jump, 4 in with a chance, it would appear. Tom Cody, Garde Bresilien, the Grey Phoenix and Beat the Edge turn in with only a length between them. Now Tom Cody just dropping back. Garde Bresilien is up and over fence number 16 along the inside, belted it. The Grey Phoenix towards the outside, and then Beat the Edge running on down to the second last, still wide open. Garde Bresilien up along the inside with Gina Andrews. The Grey Phoenix and Jack Teal between the pair in the check sleeves. Near side Will Easterby and Beat the Edge over 2 out. The Grey Phoenix jumped on. Garde Bresilien made one mistake too many, 2 from home, and it handed the advantage to the Grey Phoenix and Jack Teal, who have moved on by a couple of lengths from Will Easterby and Beat the Edge, running on down to the final fence. The Grey Phoenix on the far side, near side has Beat the Edge and Will Easterby. These 2 are clear of Garde Bresilien, who again clouded it, pulled up before the last Tom Cody. They have 100 yards left to go. It's Jack Teal on the Grey Phoenix who is out in front, and the Grey Phoenix will win the first division of the Maiden by 2 lengths from the Beat the Edge, and then further back to find Garde Bresilien, who will be the last to complete.